Heavenly Father, we come thanking you for this meeting, thanking you for this gathering. Father, as we come together, we just ask that you bind us together with love, unity, and strength. And most of all, Father, as we regulate in this community, that we come together in love, peace, and happiness. Okay, in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Thank God.
Amen.
Roll call.
Mayor Nolan.
Present.
Councilwoman Watley. Present. Councilman Oden.
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Present.
Councilwoman Howard has an excused absence. Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Here.
And Councilman Chisholm.
Present.
So we have 6 present tonight, and we do have a quorum.
All right. Okay. Everyone had a chance to look at the agenda. I think we have to add, we added item B, with this Wheatley Park. And item C, what we calling it? Closed session matter? So item B is Wheatley Park for the auxiliary, and item C is closed session matter. Any other additions, deletions to the agenda? Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
Support with the
Okay, it's been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It passes. There are no presentations tonight. Do we have any elected officials? Where we at? Oh, man, we always have somebody. You see Legina? Legina, do you have anything from Senator Alexander's office?
There's no update at this present moment. I'm just going to present the elderly town hall, which even you or
Lisa said she.
I didn't hear none of that last stuff you said.
either one of us to present it because both of them are hosting it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No legislative updates.
okay, yeah, we'll announce. Somebody's gonna announce the elder abuse tonight?
Lisa said she was coming, Lisa Brady, but
Okay. Anybody have the flyer with him?
I
Just in
can
case?
share it. Lisa sent me the information.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll do it at council communications. All right. There's no presentations. Consent agenda. You want to have a chance to look at the meeting minutes from last meeting?
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Support. Been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes. Boards and commissions. Anything present? Okay. All right, no boards and commissions. We'll slide on down to new.
Yes, to do, yes, to do, yes. to
Okay.
do. I hope she has information on file. Barbara Cooper.
I don't think she's on any board or commission right now.
So you need to nominate her?
Yes, I do, for the Downtown Development Authority.
Tony Bailey, did she used to be on beautification? Barbara Cooper. Okay.
She's been on something, I know.
Cert. That doesn't count. Okay. All right, so you nominate Barbara Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, we'll move on down to new business.
Consideration and approval authorizing administration to approve a contract for concrete and turf restoration with Century Cement to repair city property after water main breaks and minor road work for an initial term of 3 years, with 3 options to renew the contract 1 year at a time. The contract bid was $1,178,114.90, and we are asking for it not to exceed $250,000.
Support. Been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It passes.
Item B is consideration and approval for the auxiliary picnic to be held on August 26, 2019, from 12 to 5 p.m. at Wheatley Park.
So move.
Support.
Been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes.
Item C is to vote in accordance with the vote that was taken in closed session. Williams.
Support.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes. All right. Public participation. Willie Gibson. Huh? Oh, okay, come on up.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, I reside at 27056 Florence Street in the city of Inkster. I've been in the city of Inkster since 1972, and it's been a constant problem with the city ordinance department, specifically Officer Wall. This time, an encounter with her and some difficulties that I was having with some members in the neighborhood, including my car being damaged. I'm not able to get a copy of the report or get an honest answer as to in regards to whether or not the officer actually went out. From what I know, the last I heard is that she went out and she spoke against the city ordinance where we're not supposed to have the garbage obstacles or garbage cans in the streets, when she said the officer Wall specifically stated to her that as long as they were in her driveway, it was okay. This has been going on for like 3 months where I can't get in and out of my driveway because this is where they choose to leave them in the street. Sometimes I see her pull them out, then
Who
she'll
we
put them
talking
out.
about?
I'm speaking about the neighbors at 27047 and 57 on Florence Street in Inkster.
They leave their garbage cans in your driveway?
In front of my driveway, so I can't.
Get out.
When I come out, I have to go into another lane or a different lane, or have to, back up 2 or 3 times. The kids sometimes they keep playing there in the swell, and I have to look out for them too. It's been going on for nearly, 2 months at least. And
I'm sorry, you said Officer Wall told you that they could leave their garbage cans in your driveway?
No, the lady across the street said that Officer Wall stated to her that it was not against the city ordinance for her to have those garbage cans out in front of the house, in the driveway, or in the streets, because as long as she pulled them into her driveway. I spoke with several police officers over there. They claim they don't know what the city ordinance is. Okay.
On garbage cans? I've never heard any of that before. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying to me. She pulls her garbage cans in her driveway or your driveway?
She pulls them out in the streets and leave them there, and she won't put them on her curbside. She put them directly in front of my driveway.
In front of your driveway?
In front of
so
my.
So you can't back out?
I can't back out, and I can't pull in. It's been a problem. Okay, I called the police several times. They ran into my car. I have damages.
Who ran into your car?
The neighbor ran into her uncle.
Ran into your vehicle?
Yes.
Did you make a police report?
Yes.
Okay.
But the police report I haven't received. I've had to call 911, and I guess I had to call the police department so many times, so when they see my number pop up, the police aren't answering the phone. So when I called 911 the last time, a day last week, to find out why no one at the Inkster Police Department was answering the phone, I think Lieutenant Twarzik sent some officers out that gave me a ticket for the misuse of 911. When I first filed a police report, I went out to move my car, and the lady called me a motherfucker. I let it go. Her uncle was offering me a beer and called me black trash. And when Officer Anaya came out, Arnica came out, she gave me a report number. So when I went in to get a copy of the report, they telling me it's the wrong report number. And that the report number that she had given me was for a drunken driver. Now I know they was drunk and they was driving, and I know they were out there in the streets popping firecrackers. We couldn't get in and out of our driveway, period. And then there's two young guys at 27117 Florence Street who had the audacity to come out and threaten me and said that if I do anything to her, that they were going to do something to me. So now they're coming in my driveway. They're yelling across the street, bitch this, whore this. The police just don't seem to be able to come out and say, well, that's disorderly conduct or whatever. But they'll come out and they'll tell me, they try to get an attitude with me about calling because I feel threatened by these individuals. There's a gang there, two young guys, I say maybe in their early or late 30s. They can't keep a belt on, and those three houses are running that whole block over there. Now we left that property once before because that house of mine had been broken into 3 times. Inkster police came out and said it was a bad area. You know it's a bad area, you're a police officer, so why not clean it up? And then when I decide to come back to my home and stay and not be ran out again, this is the type of treatment that I get. They won't answer the telephone, and then when they come out, they give me these false reports and things and stuff like that. As far as the dogs being sick on me, the pit bull, I haven't gotten a report or answer or anything back from that.
From dogs?
Yes. I have a lady across the street and her son that I went to school with, and sometimes I'll walk over there and visit with that individual. And the guy at 27047, when he see me standing on the door knocking or waiting for someone to come and answer the door, he'll come out his side door and leave the door open for the pit bull to come out. Well, that happened one time for the pit bull to come out, so I haven't been back. Then thereafter, the neighbor that she next door to me that these people get along with, I woke up the next morning to reach out on my porch, and she had her pit bull loose there at the porch, at my front door, so I couldn't come out the front door. It's constantly going on, and as I suggested before to you, Mayor Nolan, some type of surveys conducted on the neighborhood for people who are afraid to speak out, because these two young guys actually threatened me. I'm not going to be ran out of my home. I had a nervous breakdown when my 21-year-old nephew was killed by someone here in Inkster, and I have a mental health issue or medical background or whatever. So there's certain firearms and things that I'm not entitled to.
Right.
So it kind of like leave me in a bind. So that's why I telephone the police. They are actually just trespassing over into my property and has done damage to my vehicle to the point where when people come out and cut my lawn, if I park it on the street, I can't even come out. So they're so-called banned me from even, walking to my car from out in the street. These are 2 small lanes. You put a garbage can out there protruding like that, nobody can get through. The 4th of July, they had set out there in the streets on the curb, firecrackers going off, and nobody could get by.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and the police, Inkster police act like when I call the police department, it's a crime. But they have never known anybody to be calling there saying that I'm bothering anybody. Never. And I think there's some surveys or something, that's what I said about the research and development center or something where you can create surveys and things and send out to the community for people who have this type of activity going on, but they're afraid to speak out because you have these little young punks threatening them.
I'll tell you what, I will, we do have your addresses. I will address that staff meeting tomorrow with the police chief, and we'll figure out some sort of game plan to try to resolve your
Oh,
issue.
when you call in and ask for the police chief, if you're a woman, they act like you want the police chief. You can never get through. Yeah, that's how they carry on. Every woman in the city of Inkster wants the chief or don't have a man of her own.
He is pretty sexy. He is pretty sexy.
It's ridiculous.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you won't live that one down.
I need some help. I want the police reports because my vehicle has been damaged.
We just gotta figure out what number that report is.
Council and Mayor, the young lady's right. We have given her something about the excessive use of calling 911 because you can't just call 911 all the time. We've had people been out there, the Torsica's been out there, and if there's any report that she need in the city of Inkster, she can get it and what it is. But we'll talk about it further tomorrow. But there's nothing precluding her from getting any reports you need. And if you go and speak to the neighbors in that area, then they will have a different story of so. But the end of the story is this. Yes, she's been warned about continually calling 911 when there is not an issue. Not only the lieutenant's been out there, the officer's been out there, and the sergeant's been out there. So, and that's where we stand. But we'll talk further about it tomorrow. But I just want you to know, and I don't want the public to even get the idea that we don't respond to issues and whatnot. So, but that's the case right there, man.
Okay, well, my thing is, what do you call a misuse of 911? If somebody is yelling across the street threatening me, I'm going to take matters in my own hand. These people are actually verbally threatening me. It's a gang in that block. So anybody that you talk to has really had that. What that doesn't make, because they say something, that doesn't make it true. I have photographs. I have video recordings where the man is yelling across the street at me. I have a damaged vehicle. Your police officers do not all the time respond when we call, and your police officers do not answer that telephone when they see certain people's telephone numbers coming in there. Now, what else would you suggest I do?
Well, ma'am, for one thing, we don't dispatch. Our dispatch comes through Dearborn, and your calls go through Dearborn, and then they dispatch us. So it's not the issue of you calling us and we don't answer the phone, because we don't dispatch for ourselves.
I telephone the non-emergency phone number, and usually if a 911 call is put through, it's the 911 operator that usually will send somebody out.
And don't worry, I'll send a sergeant out there tomorrow to talk to you.
Okay.
I certainly will.
Okay. And this family that I'm speaking about, broken windows, they've been doing something since they moved in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm not concerned with what the other neighbors are talking
Okay.
about, because the majority of them in that block belongs to that gang.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ms. Gibson, thank you. LaDonna Wesley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I am an Inkster resident. My family's been an Inkster resident over 60 years. My grandmother was on president of Beautification Inkster Committee. I have two problems. The first one is there was a water main break in my front yard, and of course they had to repair it in January. It's been damaged since January. They damaged my underground water sprinkler. I talked to Mr. Bivens. He told me to have it repaired and send him the bill. Why would I do that? They've got to repair the yard first. If I have it repaired, they're going to repair the yard, they're going to tear it up again. So I guess the thief figured, since it's already damaged, I'll just come steal the copper.
A thief, you said?
So they stole the copper after the yard was damaged. The sprinkler was damaged. I was told that it would be repaired in July. Not by Mr. Bivens, but the guy before him that retired. Bud. I think.
Bud Avery?
He said they would be out to repair it. Now they put sand in there in the hole instead of dirt. Grass is not going to grow in sand.
Oh, that wasn't a repair. That was just temporary. until they repair?
It's been since January.
Luckily, we just passed it under new business tonight. We just approved the concrete contractor, so now we can start doing repairs from the water main breaks from this winter. So we just voted on that tonight.
So you're gonna start doing repairs, do you know
I'm gonna sign
when?
the contract tomorrow, so it's just a matter how soon they can start working the contract.
Mr. Bivens told me my yard wouldn't be repaired till next year.
Oh, well, it's gonna happen this year. You know, it's gonna be this year.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
My second issue, my daughter lives on O. Henry Court. I've spoken with you.
Every time it rains.
Every time it rains, she lives in a cul-de-sac. Every time it rains, her basement floods. There is no drain in that cul-de-sac. So she has to go out and clean out the drain down the street to probably, trying to get the water to flow down the drain. She said basement flood. The circles, these are pictures that I have. I want you to look at these. This is her cul-de-sac.
Well, you know, Miss Wesley, last time you messaged me, I sent my person out there right away to your daughter's house. He went in the basement, and there was no water in the basement.
We had cleaned it up. By the time they got there, she has a sump pump. By the time they got there, the pumper kicked in, and we cleaned up the basement.
Oh, okay. Because I know he reported back that there was no water in the basement.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
I did send somebody over right away.
But it happens every time in that cul-de-sac. Everyone that lives in the cul-de-sac, they flood.
Okay, you can have Mr. Bivens the pictures. I'm sure he's familiar with it. But you can let him see the pictures. You're saying we're missing a drain in the cul-de-sac.
No drain. And do I look like I need to go clean up a basement? We had to shovel mud out the basement before we could, yes,
Mud.
yes. She's sick of it and I am too. You see it? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Reginald Woods.
Y'all didn't see that? Yeah.
That'll be on your water bill.
Hello, Mayor, Council, residents. I have just a quick question about an ordinance. Currently, the ordinance right now for campaigning, everyone has to put out signs 30 days before the current election. My question is, seeing how AV ballots go out 45 days before the actual election, why wouldn't we allow for signage to be put out 45 days versus 30 days? And is that something that can be looked at to be changed?
Sure. We can always change an ordinance. A citizen can ask for an ordinance to be changed. The city can do it ourselves. But it has to go through a pretty extensive process. It probably wouldn't affect this year, but we could change the ordinance. I'd never thought about that, actually. That is true. AVs go out early, so we can look to change that. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Look at it.
It makes sense. Make it longer, 45 days?
45 days.
Okay. All right, we're on it. We'll
All
do
right,
it.
thank you.
Officer Hayward.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, and citizens of Inkster. I'm here to give a couple of announcements. Officer Liebel, as you know, she's out on maternity leave, so I'll be covering some of the events for her. We got a couple of events that's coming up for the police department. We got a couple of events that's coming up that the police department is sponsoring. Friday, August the 30th at 8:30 p.m. in the police department parking lot. We'll be having a movie night for the kids. It's always free. We have free hot dogs, popcorn, games, it's a raffle. We normally give away bicycles to the kids. The kids also get to choose what movie they want to see, so they chose The Secret Life of Pets. It's a good movie, yes. So again, that's August the 30th at 8:30 p.m., and that's contingent upon the weather. If it's going to be inclement weather, it'll be posted on Facebook, cancellation, and the next one after that will be in September. Also, just coming up on the 21st at the Oak Street Health Center, located at 27155 Cherry Hill, over at Cherry Hill Plaza. We're having coffee with a cop. Again, it's at 2 p.m., free pizzas and refreshments. It's going to be informal. You can have a cup of coffee, ask questions of the police department, voice any concerns, and get to know the officers in the neighborhood. So again, that's on the 21st at Oak Street Health, 27155 Cherry Hill, in the city of Inkster. Thank you.
All right, Chief. Officer Haywood is no Lebo.
That's cold.
We gonna have to get used to this, man.
That is cold.
Yvette Brock.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is difficult. However, I would normally say this on one-to-one, but since it was said and done in public, I feel like I can address it in public. And this is to you, Mayor Pro Tem. You made a statement that the mayor was unethical, and so were some of your peers. And I was really shocked because I would think that if they're doing something wrong, 2 times a month, you guys sit up there, and I would expect you to call it out and say what they're doing. So either you don't have the backbone to call it out, or you're afraid to call it out, but I think it's very disingenuous of you to implicate not only the mayor, but your peers on a Facebook posting, not saying what they're doing that you think is unethical, and not saying which one of your peers are involved in this behavior. Because if they're doing something unethical, you owe it to the citizens to say what it is and do something about it. So I was very, I can't really think of the word. I was very surprised that you would do that. So I'm asking for an explanation. What did they do? And which one of your peers are you talking about? Thank you.
Tariq Hunter.
Good evening, council, citizens, residents. I came in, put in a petition. I was given a neighborhood barbecue September 22nd, and I was told to come today and it would be voted on, but I see it's not on the agenda.
You trying to block off the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Miss Sandra Watley was there Thursday when I came in, when I put the petition in,
What's the date you need to block off?
September 22nd.
Okay, we can do that at the next meeting.
Oh,
It's no problem.
what day is it? When the next meeting?
The second, the day after Labor Day.
The day-
Tuesday after Labor Day.
Okay, all right, thank you.
What's that, you got the address? Sir?
It's the street, Beach, Middlebelt and Beach, and Northland Beach, just that little sash.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem.
Did you think you was gonna get something extra because I was there? I ain't got no pool.
So what I want something extra for?
You all right.
She just messing with you. Okay, Michael Wells.
Good evening. I'm just here to, just a few quick things. First of all, I'm gonna have to go with the city treasurer. We had a meeting last week, and we just need some information, documentation. Since the millage was passed in 2010, we would like to know how much has the library actually received in payment in lieu of taxes. I know what the previous treasurer, they would never separate it out for some reason. For a while, there was an issue where the city wasn't turning it over way back when, and then I think they were. But we need documentation on that. And also for each of the three authorities, Tifa, DDA, and Brownfield, we need to know how much has each one captured for each year dating back to 2010. So for payment of taxes, how much has the library received each year dating back to 2010, and how much has each of those three authorities captured the library's money? We were told by the accountant and auditors that that really should be information they provide each year. I don't ever recall seeing it. If you did send it to the library, what happened, I don't know, but we would like to get that information. Secondly, we received a bill for over $17,000, a tax bill, a delinquent property tax bill for the Hamlin property, and for over $17,000. Now, I know our attorney, we're still trying to work with the city attorney. Last we spoke, I think we're trying to work that out, but he suggested we talk to council as well about it, because when the property was I guess it's for a portion of the year going on. I don't really understand. I thought once we actually purchased it, the library, by being tax exempt, wouldn't owe. And then the final thing, I wanted to thank all those who supported the library millage. It passed overwhelming success. It got roughly 69% approval with 32% disapproving. I believe that's almost the same exact percentage when it first passed back in 2010. So thank all those who voted. Even if you voted against it, thank you for voting. Thank you very much.
And real quick, Mr. Wells, so David, is he speaking to the issue we had discussed about the tax exemption?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I did get a letter from the attorney from the not representing library board with regard to that.
Yeah, so our perspective as last time that I had a discussion about it was that any tax exemptions have to be in effect by January 1.
Okay.
Or otherwise you're liable for taxes for that entire year. Basically,
Okay.
you got to file by December 31st.
Okay.
Because you purchased the property after January 1, the soonest you could get the tax exemption would be for that following year. I believe you got the property in April.
Yeah, April. So 2019 is okay. It's just we're okay for this year, right?
So you acquired the property in April 2019, correct?
I'm sorry, April 2018.
2018.
Right.
So for that year,
Okay.
you would still be liable for those taxes. The exemption would go into effect for this tax year, but in order for it to have been exempt for 2018, the exemption would have had to have been in place by January 1, which was prior to the time you acquired the property.
By January 1, we'd had to buy it by January 1st.
You would have had to have basically acquired really by December 31st and applied for the tax exemption December 31st, 2017, in order for it to have applied for 2018.
Okay.
Because you didn't acquire the property until after January 2018, there really was no way for that property to be exempt that year. It's essentially whatever is the status as of January 1, whether you owned it or not, that stands for the entire year.
Okay,
Yeah.
but for now, that won't, because it says until, I've read somebody, when they remove it off the tax, it's off the tax rolls for this year though, right? Is that
For
correct?
2019,
Okay.
you should be fine, but I think
Just
18 had
18.
that delinquency, and that's where we were having some discussions with the attorney. And our hands were kind of tied because the state law basically again says whatever the status is of January 1 is in place for that entire year.
Well, we figured you all loved it so much you would waive it, that's what we figured.
And we can have some follow. We can't waive it. We can discuss what some options are, but because again that's all by virtue of state law. In addition to the city, there's other taxing jurisdictions.
That's fine, okay, thanks a lot for it. It makes a little bit more sense than reading all that legal mumbo jumbo stuff,
Understood.
so, all right.
We pay a lot of money for that mumbo jumbo.
This one was the same issue as. Okay. Samuel Ward Bay.
How you all doing? How you guys doing? I came up to ask another question, but the Queen sparked my interest. I was waiting for Tim to answer her question then I can get to my question.
I mean, I don't know if you wanted to answer that question.
I
She
wanna,
can't force it, but
oh no, she can't, but we are the community. He can
he
respectfully
said
decline.
he's gonna answer the question through council remarks. at the end of
Okay.
the meeting.
Okay, well, that's cool. I was here to inquire about the property on Cherry and Hickory. No, Cherry and Allen, yeah, down to Cherry and Hickory. That property been empty for almost like 20 years. The grass is hanging over into the street. The fence line, you can't even see it. I got pictures, my phone was dead. You can't even see the stop sign passing this property. I stayed right around the block on what's that, Spruce and Chestnut? Yeah, Spruce and Chestnut. I just wanted to know how the CUP go about adopting this property and taking care of it. How do we get it on the agenda? Because the property has simply been abandoned for clearly 20 years.
Do you know who owns the property?
I don't believe no one.
Somebody has to own it.
I don't even know how to pull it up. It's just like a big empty field. It's like between Cherry and the railroad tracks. It's raggedy. And
On the north side of Cherry.
yes.
Oh, yeah, we probably, well, I don't know if we own that or not. We own some land over there. We do. It used to be the city dump. We sold some property on Cherry, but we still own Cherry Street. We still
No,
own some.
this is like fenced off. It haven't been touched. No one has touched this property. I haven't had my eye on this property for
That might be us. I think we may own that.
So,
Okay.
so how do we go about taking the proper steps to get it on the, for us to vote for it and see if we can go over there and take care of the property? And we got some great ideas for that property. You know, there's the train tracks running right by there. It looked like it's nothing. We can make that nice. We was thinking about making a butterfly garden over there, things that attract people to Inkster when they riding by to draw people to our city.
I'm not opposed to that. I believe we got an offer coming in to buy that, though, if I'm not mistaken. But we can talk, because that may or may not, it hasn't come in. Yeah, it's a few acres.
Yeah, but it's abandoned.
There's been some interest in purchasing it. I have not seen the written offer yet. They will go to the planning department first, but I know had a conversation that someone's interested in purchasing. But we can still talk. That may not happen. So we can still talk about your ideas and what you want to do with the property.
Okay, so what proper steps do I get to put it on the agenda or something like that?
Who should be meeting? Yeah, call Caitlin Hines tomorrow. She's in the planning department. And set up a time to meet with her so you can lay out exactly what you want to do.
You want me to put it in a proposal form or just go talk to her?
Well, just call and set an appointment. And when you come in, you lay it out however you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get contact information, we'll have her follow up with you, discuss it.
Yeah, I'll have her call you tomorrow. I got your number.
Okay, thank y'all.
Barbara Cooper.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and the residents of Inkster. Don't pay to be late, huh? I'm gonna blame it on my husband, reason I was late. I would just like to say kudos for Saturday. That was just wonderful. I'm just sorry that it wasn't enough Inkster residents out there. And hopefully when it's done again, it'll be more. I told the mayor, I said, we have a communication problem in this city. And so many people were saying that they didn't know anything about it. I was one who forgot about it. And then I started calling my kids from the camp to get them up there to get backpacks. A lot of them did. And they were nice backpacks. But it was very nice. I also said the concert for the Summerfest next year, that's what our kids need, because our kids are telling us there's nothing for them to do for the Summerfest. There's not enough game trucks, because they would take up the whole street to accommodate all the kids that wanted to get in the game thing. But I'm up here. It's almost that time. Pancake breakfast, October the 19th, starting at 8 a.m. at the Inkster Dozier Recreational Complex. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the next couple of weeks, but just a reminder that the pancake breakfast The Inkster Goodfellows Pancake Breakfast will be October the 19th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mardina Willis.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am a resident of Inkster for the last 3 or 4 years, but I worked in the public school system as a substance abuse counselor, and also I've been in Inkster for a long time, friends and family. I wanted to call your attention to a couple of things. One is, whatever happened to the FEMA money, were we approved or not? My basement was full of water, sewage water, 18 inches. Some people have 4 feet of water. So what happened to that? Did we ever get the FEMA money? And where is it? Because I had put in an application for it and didn't hear not one more word about it.
There's been several conference calls with FEMA. Can you give her the latest update? We've been posting on the DPS website,
It should be posted on my website, but President Trump denied the request for the state of Michigan for FEMA, and the governor has 30 days to appeal.
Okay, all right, thank you. Well,
So that was posted last week, right, Mr. Mayor? I think I got it last Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, he denied it, and she has 30 days to appeal.
Okay, thank you. Second issue is that I live in a house that's 4073 Hickory, and I'm trying to keep up my property, trying to work hard to keep it up. But I am low income, retired, and on disability. I called to find out if there were any grant monies that I could get to help me to refurbish my property. And I was told that the money was earmarked for demolition and for code violations. My question to the council is, how come some of that money could not have been earmarked for citizens to refurbish their properties and keep their properties up?
Every year when we request block grant money, there's a portion, small portion, but a portion of it set aside for remodeling of homes. The money she was telling you about was money from the last 2 years, not this year. And that money was not used, no one applied for it. So then we redirect it, we have to ask for permission. We redirect that towards demolition. So now she can't give you that money out because the county knows we're using that for demolition. We do get block grant money every year. So every year this council approves part of it being for rehabbing residential homes. But did you already put your application in?
No, because I was told that there wasn't any money available.
Okay. For the past 2 years, that's true, but every year we get more money. Have we received the block grant money this year?
We haven't. We're still working through the through the prior years. We actually have a meeting coming up like next week, kind of go through. So we haven't. The mayor was just asking about the current, and we're referring to the CDBG funds. Those monies are allocated to us through the Wayne County. We've kind of have a backlog in terms of working through prior year monies. The county is allowing us to use prior years, 2017 and 2018. We're still getting reimbursed for some of those prior year monies. We haven't gotten to 2019 yet. And I think that may have been what she was referring to. We're still working through those prior year monies in terms of expenditures and getting reimbursed for them. So 2019, those monies have been they have been slated for the city, but we have not started really using those expenses at this time.
So where can I get an application at?
Eventually, it will be through. I don't know if you spoke with the planning department or with someone there. When we're ready, it will be through that department again. When we're ready to start expending those 2019 funds.
Okay.
And if you give us your name and everything, I know we have received some applications for prior years, but if we get your information, we can make sure to follow up with you.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is a point of interest. I was fortunate and blessed enough to get a position at Senior Alliance. I am a friendly reassurance specialist, which we call homebound seniors every day to see how they're doing. This is a program that is offered through 2 city residents. All they have to do is contact Senior Alliance. We have a lot of things that are available for the senior citizens in this community. The other thing that I wanted to share with you that we have an opportunity for people to get their furnaces inspected. If they put in an application by the 10th, there are some contractors that are going to come out and clean people's furnaces and make sure that they're in good condition. They're looking for seniors. They're looking for people who are homebound. We're looking for people who have low income. So I will get an application, and if I don't know who I need to get that to, so that you can share it with our residents. But anything that we can do at Senior Alliance, and I'm talking for them, but I try to glean all the information we can for our seniors. I may not look that old, but I am that old. And, every little thing that we can get, every little opportunity we can get for our seniors to be taken care of, we need to avail ourselves of that. There's Meals on Wheels program. Senior Alliance do many things. They do home health care. All you got to do is call, and I'm going to give you the number. It's, let's see if it's on my badge. No. Okay, call Senior Alliance. Google it. Google it. We can Google it. And those people, if you know a senior that's homebound, that needs services, we all do, call Senior Alliance and ask them. We take care of information on legal aid, on Medicare, on all kinds of array of different subjects. And we all need to help. You know, a grandmother, a mother, someone that can get this information and use it. But that furnace inspections cost what? About $100, $150. So if you can get it, then maybe I can cut off some of my costs for that flood that I had to pay for. Thank you.
Thank you. Willie Johnson. I saw him.
The number for the Senior Alliance, 724-727-2830.
Can you repeat it? 734-727-2830. 734-727-2830. Okay. Senior Alliance.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and member of the City Council.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen. I'm here by public demand. Everywhere I go, people want me to come to council meeting. I was sick, and I had a late doctor appointment over 20 miles from Ann Arbor. Had to go to doctor appointment late in the evening. By the time I get back, I couldn't make council meeting. I could have saved y'all a lot of money had I been able to come to council meeting. Now I'm here to talk about my street. You heard me talk about it for over 2 years. I had trouble getting an appointment with the mayor. Never had one. I visit with other mayors, Mr. Mayor, and other politicians too. I could see them, and I meet them on an equal basis. They was nice. She would never give me a meeting. I asked for it. The secretary never gave me a meeting. She's supposed to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm past 90. I'm up in my 90s. I'm the oldest person in here, the oldest World War II citizen acted in Inkster. Okay? Part of my outfit got killed in Okinawa. Okay? I won't tell you a lie. And Chief, the police I saw him on my street about 6 times this year. They was called on 3 times. I called on one of those. We don't get a good police department. Now, y'all done mess up. You young people done mess up. You got a mayor, and he run everything. That's what he mad at me about. I know. You need to put a name up there. I forgot it. I'm recited. Anyway, you know, not a treasure. The young lady up there next to the mayor. What somebody call her position? Cat got your tongue? Okay, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. She should be elected. The mayor run her. The mayor hire and fire her. You got, in Inkster, it's a trunk condition. I'm going to tell you, trunk ain't all bad. He's bad, all right. I don't agree with him. People here are not all bad. Some people up there is not right. I know you done mess up. Now, I'm here, my main thing here now, I was complaining for 3 years or more about my street. Now, if you think I'm lying, I live on Durand Court, drive down there. You tear your car, okay, to the police department. As I mentioned, I only saw, we had a couple of bad incidents on my street. Some mean people come from Detroit and try to mess Inkster up. And they're moving in Inkster too. I know they're gonna shut me up. Now, Durand Court, Mr. Mayor, everybody up there know. Nobody help me out, nobody talk up for me. Okay? Durand Court, if you think I'm lying, if I'm lying, don't vote for certain people. If I'm telling the truth, watch who you vote for. I'm telling you, we got trunk condition in Inkster. I tell you how old I am, but I was in World War II, and part of my outfit got killed on Okinawa. Okay? I was a good councilman. Anybody in here think I wasn't a good councilman? Hold up your hand.
Mr.
One of my worst opposition was George Williams. He run against me. He's the worst one I had to face. Now, I'm in my old age now. I'm not afraid. I don't know how long I'm gonna live. But I tell you, something gotta be done in Inkster. Inkster is going down.
Mr. Johnson.
Inkster is going down. I told them about drugs. Nobody could tell them nothing. I'm gonna bring that up. I talk against drugs. Drugs is killing my people, black people and white. I'm saying to all of you, got kids, sit at this state school. If you can read good, you can do anything, I know.
Mr. Johnson.
If you're a good reader, you got to stay in school. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
They got rid of all the schools in Inkster, a bad thing. We got one school near me. Used to be Carver, Farrath, now it's Baylor, and some other name on it. I believe they sold it. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. We don't have no schools in Inkster. People want to move where you have school, and the kids can
Mr.
have all these
Johnson.
economic things and learn. I didn't finish high school, folks.
Mr.
You'd
Johnson.
be surprised at how much schooling I had. But I was a city councilman here too, and I got a lot of money into the city for this city. A lot.
Mr.
Okay,
Johnson.
I know I got to shut up.
Oh.
Anyway, Durand Court is still there. Mr. Mayor and the police department, drive through there. If you think I'm lying, I believe it's the worst street in Inkster. It was like that all year. Okay? Now they're talking about Inkster being sued. Well, they shouldn't have voted for drugs in the first place. Drugs is killing black people. I'm telling black people too.
Mr. Johnson.
Trump talk about us. When he used those a-hole nations, He's talking about black people too.
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. You could have shut me down, but I'm about ready to go to the newspaper. You know what? And they'll believe me too. I got more business people about Inkster and what have happened in Inkster probably than anybody in here. Thank you very much. I talk too much. But anyway, watch your step.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
One thing I want to say, if you got bills, pay them, because the interest is going up to 39%. And if you owe $5,000 in debt, 39%, you'll never get out of debt.
Mr.
And that's what Trump wants you. Trump wants all the money out of the poor people's hands, and he can handle them too. Don't think we bad. We ain't bad. We ain't got nothing.
Mr. Johnson, we got to keep it moving.
Automatic weapon. Thank you, sir.
Thank
I'll
you.
get out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm a former deputy sheriff too, sir. A good one. I got many papers on from the deputy sheriff. And I work for the state, the assistant chief fire and safety officer. I retired, double dipper. Hi, brother. I see you coming to get me. Let me get
Woo. Tabitha Kerr.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm not from Inkster, but I used to be a Wayne County resident. I moved about a year and a half ago. I actually driven an hour and a half to be here today. Some of you have heard my daughter's story, Liliana. She was the little girl who was killed by a cafeteria table in 2017 while she was attending school. Ever since, we've been working towards yearly school inspections in the state of Michigan under House Bill 4739. I am aware that Inkster does not have public schools, but I do know that parents, guardians, they send their children to other neighboring school districts. I'm here to share some information for our children's safety. Ask for your school's inspection records. This is where you can find your school's inspection dates, the corrections, and the amount of time where the inspector was actually inside the school building, which is very important. I think that is overlooked. I know I overlooked it, and now I'm killing myself over it. For educators, if there is a potential hazard in the building, such as a flagpole, a table, such as my daughter's case, even the roof, bring it to a school staff member's attention. Due to their own safety risk, they should file a complaint with OSHA. And it's also imperative that our students should not be handling these tables. This table is a 350-pound piece of machinery that is installed beside the wall. However, in Michigan, since Liliana's death, there have been 2 cases where poorly secured tables have fallen on our children. One incident injured 3 students alone, sending 1 child to the hospital. We have created a website due to the opposition from the Department of Human Services, lilianaslaw.com, where on the petition, you can find them in the menu section, where you can sign online. You can follow Liliana's Law on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our children should not have to worry about our school's infrastructure, no matter what school our children go to. They should be worried about their education, school projects, not whether a table should fall on them. Since doing this for the past 2 years, I have made many networking connections, one including Councilman Stephen Chisholm from this last week, Councilwoman from Dearborn Heights, Lisa Hicks Clayton, which I actually got off the phone with her with some exciting news. She works with Senator Alexander, I believe, which is also the senator for this area, along with Dearborn Heights, Detroit, Garden City, and Redford. They are working on a companion bill. It's not official. We're still working on it, but there is a companion bill hopefully in the works with not only the Senate, but a local ordinance in Dearborn Heights. And I just want to let everyone know to please be careful with this upcoming school year. I've been fighting for this for 2 years. This is my second time trying, and every time I hear in the news where our children have been hurt, whether it's in Michigan or in other states, it hurts me because the information is out there. Our educators, staff members in our schools, most of them are aware, but due to budget concerns, it's a problem. Please be aware of your surroundings, and I appreciate your time given to me today. I brought petitions. They're already micromanaged for you. I put stamps on them, so you don't have to worry about stamps with the return label. All I ask is for you to look it over and sign it. And I have a big bag full of petitions, and this is what the petition looks like. And that's pretty much all I have today. Sorry, I wasn't very prepared. I was kind of rushing out of the house. But please, let your citizens know, the residents, to be aware of their surroundings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jackie Hoskins Evans.
Good evening, everyone, City Council.
Good evening.
And Mayor. Well, I'm back up here with the same complaint of the noise. Young people moving in. I think we have 5 families that moved in on Lucerne, which is a good thing. But a lot of neighbors that I've been knowing for over 10 years have moved out. The problem is, I think the noise code should be followed, and me by myself or me and a couple other people, we can't really do anything. I think something in the form of a letter needs to be sent to, I don't know, the city and or just the district, because it's just terrible. It's terrible, and I'm going to keep complaining until something is done. So that's really all I have to say on that. I just want to, while I was sitting there, the comment the young lady made, I don't understand what the purpose was, because if you stand in the line paying your water bill or whatever you pay at the city council building, city hall rather, you're going to hear people saying all kind of things. But I don't know if it was the right thing to do, because it just made me slump in my seat, because to me it's just gossip, and I don't think it's fair for the mayor or Mayor Pro Tem to have anything like that brought up. Bring up something that's going to make this city better, not tear it down. And I just don't think it was the right thing. It should have been said in private, and that's my comment. Thank you.
Randa Davis.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, Administrator, and the citizens of Inkster. I'm here on behalf of my church, Smith Chapel AME Church. We are celebrating our 95th anniversary this year, and we want to come out and give you the information for our celebration. The date for our event on Saturday, October the 19th, is going to be our anniversary gala banquet at 6 p.m. It will be held at the Charles H. Wright Museum. Bishop John F. White presiding will be one of the guest speakers. Of course, with our Reverend Cindy Carr Rudolph. Sunday, October the 20th, is our anniversary Friends and Family event, which starts at 11 a.m. Dr. Ann Leitner Fuller is the morning messenger. The tickets are already on sale, and you can go on Eventbrite. You can also go on Smith Chapel AME 95th at gmail.com to get the ticket information. The tickets are $75, and it is a black tie and formal event. We would love to have everybody come out and celebrate with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Samuel Ward Bay, didn't you already come up?
Gotta let the community know about scouting. St. Clemens and Community Up is bringing Cub Scouts of America back to Inkster, thanks to Chief Riley and a couple other people working with us. Boy Scouts of America failed here in Inkster. I think they try to bring it back like 5 times, so it haven't been here in almost 20 years. This year is a new day, new age. We're gonna make it a success, so we just want everybody to come out and support if y'all can. We have a free camp that started today on the 19th. We feed breakfast and lunch. We got plenty of activities, and this is a great program. A lot of great leaders came from this program, so if y'all see these flyers, sign y'all children up. It's a great program. If not, just come to St. Clemens Church tomorrow. Any day is a 5-day camp. The last 2 days, we're gonna take them on some type of field trip. We're not sure, but it's gonna be exciting. And this camp make futures. So please join our camp. Age group is what, from first grade? Oh, 5 to 12. But the overall scouting starts 2 weeks after the 23rd of this month. So everybody know, I just want to put Inkster on notice. That great program is back.
Thank you. City Clerk.
I'm making an announcement tonight for Councilwoman Howard. She wants residents to know that her District 5 advisory meeting will be held on August 26th at 5:00 p.m. in the Tiffer Room. And everyone is invited. Where? In the Tiffer Room.
City Treasurer.
Just have one announcement. The upcoming deadline for property taxes for taxes to be made without any late fees or interest is August 31st. This year that falls on a Sunday, so it gets pushed back. As you probably know, the holiday is on that following Monday, so we're going to have to push it back even one more day, which takes us to Tuesday, September 3rd. So the 8/31 deadline for property taxes, for the summer property taxes, we're going to allow up until Tuesday, September 3rd, for payments to be made, which will be the first day that will be open following the Labor Day holiday. So you have until that'll be the official deadline for being able to make payments and not have any late fees assessed.
Councilwoman Watley.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, what I'd like to do is, this past week, I was invited out to Wayne by a group of individuals who suddenly I see are in our audience tonight. Could we get the bionic zebras to stand up, please? This is a robotics group. They sent me an email and they invited me out during, I guess Wayne has concerts every Wednesday. And it was a beautiful setup and everything, but they invited me out to see their robotics, and it was incredible. It really is. These young people, they're from Wayne Westland, and they're trying to get, other kids from the surrounding areas involved in their robotics. And like I said, bionic zebras. Now, I can't remember everyone's name, okay? So if you want to tell us who you are. Right, I remember Dallas now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right, Sarah's the captain, and you are. Right, right. Well, I want to thank you all for showing up. I hope we gave you some enlightenment while you were here. Nothing like robotics and everything, but I'm really glad to see you here. And I know you didn't know our protocol that if you wanted to speak to us, you had to fill out a paper. But I just wanted to make sure I acknowledged you and thanked you for inviting me out. It was really fantastic. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, the second thing I have on the agenda here is I am going to be starting, well, first of all, you're going to take care of that 27039 tree situation on Hopkins, right, Jerome? Okay, so I don't have to beat you up. Good, good. All right, the second thing is I am starting a segment here in council, and it's Councilwoman Watley clears the AIR. And AIR stands for Addressing Impossible Rumor. Because suddenly at the polls this year, I heard someone say something that was so ridiculous. But then what really got me is when they argue with me about the veracity of it, right? This is something that is just not true. What they said to me, and several other people who were at the polls agreed with them. What they said to me was that if Inkster had paid $200,000 more in the Floyd Dent incident, it would have never gone on the residents' taxes. I said, oh, that's ridiculous. That's not true. But they argued. And like I said, two other people there said, yep, that's right, that's right. So I decided it was time for us to clear the air. Okay, number one, and this is just math, simple math. The city of Inkster has a $2 million insurance deductible. Now we all know what a deductible is, right? That's what you pay before any type of insurance ever kicks in, okay? So, $2 million deductible over here. The Floyd Dent settlement was $1.4 million. Is anybody with me on that math? We would have paid $2 million to have them pay $1.4 million. That doesn't happen that way. Now you don't have to believe me because I've always said, be your own detective. I have got the attorney and the clerk who will put paperwork at the front desk so you can read it for yourself. You don't have to take my word. And I want to address any other problems people have with rumors out there, and especially when it regard to how we made decisions that you think were not appropriate. And I will have the paperwork at the front desk. Now, you can stand there and read it. If you want to take it home, that's a FOIA charge, okay? Just so you know. But I want to know. I want my colleagues want to know. When you hear something that's just ridiculous and we can straighten it out, let us straighten it out for you. Because I don't want you going out saying stupid stuff. I really don't. You're my constituents. I want everything you say to be proper and correct. So, from now on council meetings, I will be clearing the AIR. Okay? All right. The next thing I want to talk about, oh, you thought I was through, didn't you? No, what I want to talk to you about is the second annual Inkster Car Show. Okay? We are having the Inkster Car Show on September 21st. It will be from 3 to 7 p.m. And last year's was fantastic. We'll be putting up these flyers all over. We will be having the club cards everywhere. Take a few with you. Have your people get with their people. We had people passing out these at the Woodward Cruise this past Saturday. So we want to have a big showing. We're having it once again up at the corner of Inkster and Michigan. We will have giveaways, we will have trophies, we will have all sorts of things. We'll have music. We'll just have a really good time showing off our classic cars. So make sure to look for this. Sergeant Haywood, being the new Lebo, is is working with us on this. And as you notice, all local Inkster and Wayne interests are sponsoring this event. So let's get together and do that right. So I think that's it for me. All right. Huh?
When did they register for the car show?
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much, Mayor. You can tell he wants a car show. Anyway, you can register. We will have applications at the City Hall, the front desk. I will get it with the Director of Parks and Recs. We'll have applications over there. Where else will we have applications? That's the only two. We might even ask the library. Is Michael still here? If they might let people.
I'll bring it up.
You'll bring it up? Oh, she just wants y'all to know she's on the library board. But anyway, so that will be there. Yes, you can register for the car show at those 3 locations. What time is from 3 to 7 p.m. And like I said, we had a ball last year. It was incredible. I just didn't realize there were that many people that had that many expensive cars out here, you know, but it was really nice. So we expect you all to support and do the big Inkster thing. Okay? Thank you.
Councilman Oden.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I got a call last week from a citizen who had a concern about the issue concerning the water department. And her name was Pam Keaton. I said I had a call from a citizen last week concerning an issue concerning the water. And her concern was related to the response that she was getting from people that she talked to, and she had a real problem with it. I asked her to show up tonight. I don't think she's here. But her name is Pam Keaton. She lives on Oakwood, at Oakwood and Henry Ruff. But I asked her to come out to express what her concerns were. Because she indicates that she calls, she never gets any feedback. She get different information that doesn't make sense to her. You know, sometimes there's problems in terms of getting responses from people that she talked to. They come to her house, don't identify themselves. They want to come in, so forth and so on. So I asked her to show up tonight. Apparently she didn't show up. But she called me because she had that concern. And I'm putting it out there. I don't know exactly who the people are that's going out there checking her meters and so forth, but she had a real issue with it, and I thought I would bring it up tonight. And I asked her to be here so she could say exactly what kind of issues she's been dealing with through the people that's been coming to her home related to the water issues that she's had.
Councilman, do you have the actual address for her?
No, I don't, but I got her phone number.
Okay, I'll get that from you after the meeting.
Okay. The other thing that I had is, it sort of came up tonight, but over the past week or two, I thought about, and someone brought up about doing issues or making improvements in the community and so forth. And I thought about it, Mayor, that I think a while back there were some businesses or companies that wanted to come into the city and do some things. I think there was a bank or so that you mentioned that was interested in doing some things, and it struck me that it may be something we want to look at that we once had here in the city of Inkster, which was called Paint the Town. And if we can get the Paint the Town, something similar to the Paint the Town program going within the community, where they would help make the monies available for us to go out and get the houses painted up, particularly for seniors and anybody else that need it, I think it would be a real good move for the benefit of the community. I don't know if you still have that contact person or not, but I think it would also impact the upkeep of the property in general and have an impact. Just wanted to mention that. And that's all that I have.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Well, I have a long list. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank
thanks to everyone who came out on Saturday for the backpack giveaway. There are some people in the audience here today that I would really like to thank. They're present. Mrs. Moore, Ms. Pope, Mrs. Gray, Ms. Hankerson. I can't see anybody else, but it was just fabulous. We do have some backpacks left, and our intention is to give them out to students in our schools and in our surrounding communities. So if you are interested in getting some backpacks to give to children, then please just contact me and we will vet the situation that you want to get them for, and we will provide that with backpacks with school supplies inside. It was really great. We had a good time, and I think all of the children who received the backpacks were very excited for what they received. I sent Mr. Bivens a question about signs for our in park in particular, because I know CUP is really working to keep that place going, and I know I have seen grown men sitting in the park drinking and doing their thing, and I would understand as a parent not wanting my children to be in that setting with that going on. So I have requested that we get some signs placed in the park that puts you on notice that drinking and use of drugs is a violation, and you will be arrested and prosecuted if you do that. We have to keep our community safe. I know that there are a lot of other places grown people can go to do what they want to do, not in a public park where there's a beautiful playscape for our children. So that's one thing that I've asked, and thank you, Jerome, Mr. Bivens, I'm sorry, for us.
Come on, you're out of order right now.
Okay, thank you. On September 28th, you know, we have a lot of housing stock in Inkster. Inkster is an old community, which means many of our homes have real good bones. And we have a lot of housing stock. And we have an initiative coming to the city, which is called 100 Families, 100 Homes, Route to a Smart City. We're trying to make Inkster a smart city. We're being creative about the things that we're doing to get our city on the map. You know, it is right, when you lose your school district, you kind of lose your oomph, but we're doing some other things to try to bring that back. So on the 28th of September, we're having a bike-a-thon in the city. We got a lot of bike riders, and what we're trying to do is get people to just come out on their bikes, and maybe at the tail end of the bikes, we'll have some cars that can trail in case everybody. We want people to see what's available in the city of Inkster. We're going to have fun after it at the rec center with food and all of that, so that we can begin to get people interested in what they can do with residences in the city and get some of those houses back on the tax roll, which is very important because they're just sitting right now doing nothing. On November 2nd, we will have our 5th annual, how many years is it? 5th. 5th annual 5K Run Walk, sponsored by the Inkster Task Force and the Inkster Fire Department, and that will be on November 2nd at the Inkster Valley Golf Course. The sponsorship packages are just going out, and you'll hear more about it as time goes on. On August 26th, the Inkster Community Block Club will hold a meeting at the Woodson Community Center on Carlisle at Middle Belt. We'll serve a light dinner, and we want people to come out and work with us so that we can make our communities safe and beautiful and the kinds of places that people want to live. On September 10th, I will host my Citizens Advisory Council for District 6. There will be more information coming on that. Attorney General Dana Nessel has been touring the state, having what she's calling a listening tour on elder abuse, because so many of our elders are being abused in nursing homes and in just homes. And you hear the horror stories all the time about things that are happening to our seniors. And she will be at the Bogadosia Recreation Complex
on August 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. To talk with all of us about the things we can do to stem this ugly tide of abusing our elders wherever they are, not just in their homes, but in those nursing homes too, especially. Mrs. Evans, your issue has been addressed. I'll talk to you more about that after the meeting tonight. And I'm glad to have the robotics group here. We did talk via email, and I'll talk to you afterward too. Thank you for coming. I do believe that's all on my long list of things. Thank you very much.
All right, Councilman Oden had one more thing.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to the citizens who voted for me. I didn't make it this time around, but you're going to be sure one thing. As I've said before, this is our city. Mayor and council can't do it all by themselves. You will continue to see me involved in all activities that's going on in this city because it is my home, and it's going to continue to grow, and I'm going to continue to work with whoever I need to work with to keep it going. Thank you.
Councilman Chisholm.
All right, just piggybacking on what my colleague, Councilwoman Mitchell, was talking about with the elder abuse. It was confirmed that Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib will be in the audience or in the building that night as well. So just want to let everybody know that because that was kind of up in the air. So if you see the flyer, that's why her name isn't on there because it was confirmed after everything was printed and sent out. Also, Ms. Kerr, I did meet her last week, and she had informed me, well, I'm sorry, she didn't inform me directly. She was informing everyone and just kind of bringing the House bill up about what was going on with the inspections of the lunchroom table. She told her story, and I thought it was real touching. She was in touch with both Representative Jarrell Jones' office and Senator Betty Jean Alexander's office about trying to get it going through the Senate. As everyone knows, budget time and everybody's budget for the state of Michigan, which we should be getting back on that stuff at the end of August. However, I did let Ms. Kerr know that I would be bringing it up tonight about the petitions and just how citizens all around could get involved, especially because she wasn't formerly from the city of Inkster, so unless we had saw the news station, we were kind of unaware of what was going on. To my surprise, she came tonight and gave you all the information herself. So I just hope that you get informed, talk to her, have a conversation, and if you feel compelled to get engaged and act, she has the petitions for you. Also, I ask that you keep one of my colleagues, Preston Peterson. As you know, he works in Representative Jones' office as well. One of his family members is gravely ill, so I ask that you pray for the family for guidance, comfort, and just confidence in everything that they're going through. If you have any questions about the elderly abuse, you can also contact the numbers on the flyer because they will be supplying rides for senior citizens, for those who may or may not be able to drive. And then the representative's number is 517-373-0849. And you spoke of the bike-a-thon. However, I'll be out of town, so the mayor will take my place.
Is he gonna wear your shorts?
I'm gonna wear the same size spandex he wear.
Have a nice night, everybody.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Before I answer the question that everybody's waiting for me to answer, I want to do one thing first. Y'all never can hear me. There's one thing I want to do first before I answer the question that everybody wants me to answer. There's a citizen who stays on Brentwood, and she says that code enforcement has been coming by giving her a ticket for high grass. I went by and took a picture of it, and I couldn't see anything that was wrong with it myself. And she lives at 454 Brentwood. And hopefully Ms. Fisher can go by, look into why she's getting so many tickets and been basically being called to court on a yard that's very immaculate. So just wondering why. Okay. Now, the question. I sent out an email on Facebook about my campaign. Some people, they commented back on it. Can you hear me? During the campaign, I sent out some information on Facebook about what direction I want the city to go into. I had some feedback. One person asked me about the rental property in the city of Inkster. I replied that, yes, we probably wouldn't have so many renters in the city of Inkster if mayor and council wasn't involved in some unethical practices on how we give out the property. The reason I said that was because we have some paperwork that when we was giving out the property to the investors, it says that we only was going to give it to the investors, and the investors had to take this property and sell it to homeowners, not rent the property. But that's not what was happening, because I have a niece who was renting one of those properties. And so in our resolution for 2017, that's what they originally said, and we had 6 vendors at that time. Only 5 of them actually did business with us during that time. We okayed those 6 vendors in 2017. 2018, there isn't a list, and at the last meeting, not the last meeting, but 4 weeks ago, I asked for the resolution of those vendors, which I have not received yet, because council does things in resolution, and I have not received it to show that we have okay to have those vendors. It's also unethical to be giving out property or giving out property to friends and family members as well. And on that list of 2018 that we did not okay, there were friends and family members who were part of the investors. And if y'all remember or recall that Warren Evans had that problem, and our treasurer had that problem with family members receiving property. So that's what I was speaking of. And when I got that information at the time, I got it when I went to a meeting in Detroit with some state Congress people who talked about how that it was constitutionally illegal to be taking those properties from the county and selling it to these investors when we should be helping these people get their homes back. And that's what that was about. And that's all I have to say for today. Continue to support your community. Shop Inkster.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just, you're dropping words about constitutional and illegal and whatnot. As a treasurer,
that's what I got from our state congressperson.
Well, okay. you need to be a little bit more clear in what you're saying. You need to be a little more clear in your understanding what other people are saying. One thing I just want to make clear: as a treasurer, I'm involved in that foreclosure process. I'm not going to allow you or anybody else to make any allegations of me doing anything illegal. We follow the law. If you don't understand that, I can explain it to you. But to, put things out there on Facebook and come here and restate something that's just inaccurate, it's not fair. It's not fair to your colleagues. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to people because you're misrepresenting what's going on.
No, I'm
now,
not.
some people may question.
You just interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
Some people may question the whole foreclosure process. We don't have anything to do with that. The foreclosures occur at the county. We don't take anybody's property. The county takes it. We exercise the right of first refusal, and you should understand that. And you really, you serve this community too well to be saying these things that you're saying. You deserve better. We deserve better. And you gotta adhere to a higher standard than that. And again, it's not what you're saying. Either you're not understanding what people are telling you, or you're just misrepresenting the situation, and it's not right, man. Everybody here is doing an honest job. I don't take kindly to you misrepresenting what I do, what other people in this administration do, because we're doing our jobs, and nobody's out here breaking the law or doing anything unconstitutional. And it's sad that you gotta resort to that stuff. I understand politics. I'm a big boy. I've been in this game a long time. I can take it, but folks deserve better than that, man. You really should strive to do better. You really should.
I have a question on one of his statements. I thought when we voted that when the contractors got the house, it could, because I remember asking the question, would the houses be sold as homes or could they be rental and sold? And the answer I got was that you could either, the person who got the house could either rent it out or sell it. Is that not correct?
That is correct. I mean, we created this program 3 years ago, okay? We patterned it after other cities who've been doing it for years. There's nothing illegal about anything we're doing in this program. Of course, we want to sell the homes because people treat their properties better when you own the properties. But if someone buys a house for $10,000 and puts $30,000 in it, and it's only worth $40,000, they're not going to sell it for $40,000. So we allow them to rent that out until the property value goes up, and then they will sell the homes. That was clear from day one, something he voted on and voted in favor of. Let me be clear, it was unanimous. And that's why, for someone to sit here and talk about unethical, there's nothing we've done unethical. His relative could have been one of the vendors. They're a vendor, they're an independent contractor. It does not matter who they are. Only thing matters is, do they have the wherewithal to do what needs to be done? I want the city rebuilt and our property values to go up. I don't care who does it, as long as the community benefits. But to sit up here and talk about unethical stuff, that's garbage. And you will find out soon who's being unethical up here. We're not gonna find out tonight, but we're gonna find out soon who's doing what. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, because I don't spread rumors and act like a juvenile. I'm so sick of hearing this crap out in the street. This is somebody who served on council for 11.5 years. You should know how this works by now. You didn't vote for nothing illegal. You know ain't nobody doing it. Somebody's doing something illegal and we be locked up.
Right.
You think they ain't looking at us? Every city with a black mayor, they're looking at hard, because they would love to put us in handcuffs. And so we don't need anybody else, especially when you're supposed to be one of us, up here perpetuating this nonsense. This is crazy, man. You just as bad as people in the street making up stuff. You know, I haven't said nothing for the past years, people spreading all type of rumors about people in the city, about myself. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna start addressing it, and I'm gonna start pointing the finger back.
Right.
And we're gonna get real jiggy with it. You're not gonna like to hear it when I come back at you. Everybody running their mouth about what who and that person's doing when they not doing right, and they never did right. Been poisoning this community for the last 20, 25 years.
Right.
And then they want to talk about the people who trying to do it the right way. Went to school, did what we were supposed to do. Now you want to talk about me. Man, woo! We gonna find out. We gonna find out. You know, this city has a choice. We're going one or two directions. We can go backwards, the way we've been living, and that's your choice, because it's your city. Or we can go forward. I'm just tired of this garbage, man. We gotta raise the level of people playing in the game. Got to. Now, I'm gonna talk about this garage sale, which is canceled. Garage sale that we, it's Octavia's fault. Garage sale's canceled, so they're gonna get another date. They're gonna do it, so it's coming back. Also, the city clerk, so while we clean up rumors, Sandra Wiley started this. The city clerk does not work for me. The city clerk works for us, okay? I cannot hire the city clerk. I can't fire the city clerk. Some cities have elected city clerks. You know what they do? They get elected, they don't know how to be a clerk, and then they hire somebody to do the job. So you got two people getting paid, but only one person's doing the job. If you guys want to do that, we can modify the charter and we can do that. It's up to you. But I do not hire and fire the city clerk. So this city is the king of putting out misinformation. And we will repeat stuff. When somebody comes to me and tells me something incredible, I take it for what it is. It's incredible. And it's probably not true. And they don't know whether it's true or not. They just spreading the rumor. So I just listen to it, nod my head, okay, and keep it moving. But we have a tendency to believe this nonsense and perpetuate it by keep talking about it. I've heard so much crap. It is crazy, crazy. And then we get to have our leaders up here perpetuating the same thing. Wow, it's crazy. But I'm glad you guys came out. We will see you, this is August, time to get the kids back to school, time for football. You know, and the rest of this campaign, which I'm looking forward to. So, thank you for everybody coming out. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Before you do that, Chantel, thank you very much.
Oh, that's Chantel. Stand
Yes,
up.
she's putting out a newspaper for Inkster.
Wonderful.
That's beautiful.
Okay, this is really neat. So before that happened, I just wanted people to know. You know, it's only 50 cents.
Isn't it nice?
This looks good.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. You look better in Detroit News.
Yes, it does.
Good job. You got a motion?
Don't move.
Support.
Oh, properly moved, supported, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Pass.